All right, awesome. I think we are live. I'm going to do a quick check to make sure. Okay, yes, we are on. Okay, awesome. Okay, welcome everyone to Simply 2020. Jana is here with me today. She is going to be our fun volunteer for the day. I am just going to dive into my little snippet first about day 3, and then I'll bring Jana on. Jana, do you have a way to mute, like on your computer?
Mm, I don't see anything, but I can be really quiet.
Okay. Okay, no big deal. All right, you guys, it's Amanda. It's day 3. We are smack in the middle of Simply 2020, and I've been having a lot of fun this week, just bringing things back to simplifying. That's what I've been really feeling the energy around this part of the year, around the new year, around what's going on the planet and on Earth right now is just simplifying our lives and simplifying our health in 2020. And so that was the message I got, is to talk about really simple, easy ways to make life easier, right? And to really invite ease into our life, like nourishing ourselves, staying healthy, being vital, being well nourished. It doesn't have to be something that's super hard. Also, these big goals we have for ourselves, we tend to kind of put way out here, way out in front of us, and think we need something magical to happen or have to take a big dramatic step, when really it's those ways we show up for ourselves and hold space for ourselves every single day, those daily practices, those daily things that we do, of self-care, our water, our vegetables, our sleep, our nature time, our movement, our meditation, whatever the case may be. And so we've talked about a few of those things this week. We've talked about water, getting enough water in our lives and ways to do that, and the element of water. We talked about sleep yesterday with Natalie. She was able to come on, and we talked about bedtime routines and morning routines. So definitely, if you haven't caught the first 2 days, definitely go back and watch the replays. You'll be able to see them below. There are a lot of good little nuggets in each of those. And I should just say, for those of you who are just joining and haven't seen me before, I'm Amanda Heisman. I'm a nourishment channel, embodiment coach, intuitive eating teacher. I'm all about being well nourished and moving out of the energy of diet and restriction and into the energy of nourishment, which is really open. It's really pleasurable. Divine, sacred. These are all words I use to describe my eating experience and help others do the same. I love helping women create a joyful and an easy relationship with food and with body. That's really important to me. That's my sweet spot. That's where I find a lot of joy and passion. And I just think it's our birthright to be really well nourished and to kind of slough off a lot of cultural conditioning around food, around body, around our expectations in society as women, and just unlearn and relearn this ancient knowing that we have inside of us of how to be well nourished. Hello, Elodie, joining from you. So today I just want to talk about fruits and vegetables. Hey, Kimberly, great to see you. Happy birthday. It's Kimberly's birthday today. So I'm just diving into our quick tip of the day, which is fruits and vegetables, something so basic, so simple that we don't necessarily think about that often. Fruits, vegetables are some of the most healing plants on this planet and for our bodies, full of micronutrients, full of all sorts of the mineral spectrum. And it's good to, and they're also very hydrating. So they help with our hydration effort as well. It's wonderful to eat fruits and vegetables first as you're having a meal, right? Kind of go light to heavy and kind of let them get absorbed easily by the body. And I'm being really general here and saying any fruit, any vegetable. As I talk with clients and friends, I notice people have certain tendencies, right? Maybe they like vegetables and they don't like fruit, or maybe they like fruit and they don't like vegetables, or they only like certain kinds. And I mean, if you can get one more serving of fruits or vegetables each day, you're doing really well. Um, Aside from all of the the nutrient rich content of it and hydration content of it, you're also, fresh fruits and vegetables are full of probiotics and prebiotics, which are really healing to your gut. We'll probably talk about that a little more. So people don't think of just fruits and vegetables having the same benefits as fermented food, but they do. They do. They naturally have probiotics and prebiotics. So we're talking like Elodie's in La Réunion. It's a tropical area. She has lots of tropical fruits and she can drink awesome green juices. That's wonderful, super nourishing. It might be for, I'm in Florida right now, also in the subtropics, but I had 3 months of winter just now, and I know how it can be this time of year to get some fresh fruits and vegetables in. So I'm not opposed to cooked fruits or cooked vegetables. I suppose you could, cooked fruits as well. Soups, things like that with high mineral content. So I have a warm side, but I also have a warm elixir every day, but I also have that smoothie. I at least get one serving of raw fruits and vegetables in every day, even if I'm in the dead of winter, so to speak. But there's lots of ways you can go root vegetables. There's lots of ways to get vegetables in the winter. And if that's something you need assistance with, drop in the comments what your struggles might be with around that, or what you like, or what you tend towards. And I'll come back in the comments and support you in that way. Also, having, if you're someone who's already kind of established in some fruits and vegetables, you might think about dark leafy greens. If you're not someone who has like collards or bitter mustard greens or things like that, kind of a little bit off the beaten path, those actually change the palate. They actually change your taste buds and make it easy, make you start to crave fruit and vegetables. And especially if you deal with sugar cravings or just cravings in general, those actually really help to balance. They have some nutrients that help to balance things out, and our general nutrient deficiency shows up in sugar cravings. So that is the short version right there. A lot of sweet potatoes there. That's awesome, Elodie. And for the second half of our Simply 2020 today, I want to bring on Ms. Jonna Troglin. She is awesome. She is one of my favorite people. Yeah, she's been in our group for a while and she's a wordsmith, has a great blog you guys can check out. She's a poet at heart and also a veteran. Jonna's done lots of amazing things in life. So welcome, Jonna, to Simply 2020.
Wait, thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks for being on and being willing to share with us what's going on for you and be open and vulnerable today. Just appreciating your journey and you being willing to be here.
Absolutely.
So, what is going on? What would you like to talk about today? What would you like to simplify in your health or life?
Well, actually, oddly enough, what comes up for me is simple action. Because I tend to, we live in kind of a distracting world, and there are so many ways to distract ourselves from getting our fruits and vegetables in, getting our water, whatever else like that, because there are always these shiny other things, and also coffee. Anyway, but for me, it's a matter of doing what I love. I love my writing. I love doing things like that. Um, but it almost feels a little selfish, even though I'm wanting to put that out in the world. So I
Mhm.
will distract myself with busyness instead of doing what my heart tells me I want to do. And in that way, and in other ways, I tend to kind of tune out the intuitive, which is
Mm.
where my heart is, which is, it's kind of ironic, but I want to hone in and really attend and tune back into the intuitive voice rather than distract myself, which a lot of times happens with food. So, yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, I love that.
cool.
Um, yeah, I just want to share something that came up while you were talking, and then I'll dive into that with you, which is we tend to distract and overcomplicate quite a bit
Mm.
when, from things. I do it, everybody does it, right? Like, and nutrition is one of those things that we can super overcomplicate or think that we need a magic pill or a magic bullet when it's like, oh, maybe I just need some more water. Maybe I just need another salad a day, or, whatever the case may be. So you're just kind of mirroring that in life, and we distract in busy ways, looking like, right, like reading all the blogs about whatever, whatever the latest thing out there is.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is like, what sort of busyness distracts you from, what's the shiny object syndrome?
A lot of times it's things that I perceive that I should do, things that that doing mind things are more important. Things that it's like, an hour of writing isn't really going to keep me from doing those things, but I feel like I have to do those other things first, and then it's one thing after another, and then
Mhm.
I don't get to do what my heart wants to do, and I don't end up playing because all work and no play makes Jonna a dull girl.
Right.
So really, it's like that. It's the shoulds, it's the musts and the ought tos and things like that that get in my way. So
Mm.
maybe it's
Okay.
that military mind, but I feel like I need to do those things and then I can have that. It's almost like it's dessert, which is
Right.
kind of silly.
Rather than sort of thing. Oh, we look
Sorry, that got all chopped up.
that froze up for a second.
Yeah,
I said, yeah, it's dessert rather than the main dish sort of thing.
right, right.
Yeah.
And when
Um,
it's feeding your heart, it should be the main dish, shouldn't it?
yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway,
So, what does your day look like as far as supporting your writing?
well,
When
that's
do
just
you
it.
do
Is
your
I
best writing during like?
honestly, in the morning. Morning is my time that I can do that. The best, but I write in the evening just as well. It just seems like if I do it in the morning and get that done first, it's like eating your fruits and vegetables first and
Yeah.
go light to heavy.
Yeah.
That's what I really probably. Oh, I hear myself coming up with a should. Anyway, that probably is a solution. That would be a very simple solution. Is just go ahead and prioritize that in my schedule, and then
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it off so much. So, yeah, that's an easy answer.
Yeah. So what are ways to support getting an hour of writing done in the morning? Um, like
Sometimes
feels doable in your schedule.
distracting myself from the doing. We all have these smartphones now and the reminders. And honestly, I could just set myself a reminder that it's like it's time to let myself write. And
Hmm.
so instead of that being a must, let it be an opportunity.
Hmm.
So
Let it be like, oh, fun,
yeah, I have a
fun.
play
Like
date with
I
myself.
have a play date with myself. How exciting! What's gonna pour out on the page right now? And you can
Yeah.
even, in these smartphones, right? You can even set. You can write what you want to write. You can
Mhm.
say, oh, it's time for my inner child to come out. It's play date with
Yeah.
Jonathan. Whatever, little blurb works for you, but you can set
Right.
that in an alarm. And the other thing that I do often is like close all other tabs, right? Like
Hmm.
put my phone to airplane mode, or do not
Yes.
disturb or whatever the case is. So there really are no other distractions, at least not technology distractions,
Yeah,
right? I
definitely.
so if you figure out the things and feel out the things that you need in order to write well, if you have a quiet environment, or if you have your, your smoothie or your tea or whatever the case may be, you make sure your body and mind feel well nourished
Mhm.
beforehand. What's a good hour for you in the morning?
Funny, maybe because we had this play date
Mm-hmm.
set, I 10 o'clock is kind of coming up in my mind because I'm at the gym at 5:30 and have other things to do, but it's like usually by 10 there's a little lull and I could actually easily do that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then if your to-do list or the other things that you quote should do is coming up in your mind, I have like a running list. Just that's what I do is
Mm-hmm.
write it somewhere. I'm sure you do this too,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, like just write it somewhere so that it's out of my brain. It's not like holding on the mental to-do list and holding the mental energy. I've put it somewhere so it can be right there right now, and I can come back to it, and I can
Yeah.
free up my creative energy to kind of flow through.
Not surprising. I do the same thing. I'm just like I always say I think best with a pen in my hand. So if if I have these little thoughts pop up, I notice you
Hmm.
do the same thing and I'll just jot that down and then it's like, okay, I've dealt with that. I can come back to it. I stay present. And that really does help me stay present in that moment. So
Hmm.
helps me kind of practice some integrity to the time and space that I'm in. So
Yeah. What are
yeah.
some other common distractors, if not technology, or do you anticipate what resistance do you anticipate to this hour of writing?
Um, honestly, I think that if it helps to be retired.
Hmm.
I think that if I make that a known priority, because I moved my mom in with me a year ago,
Hmm.
she's good about honoring that space and whatever. And I'm here in my office, which like I've got the doors closed and my little like they call them draft dodgers. It's a sound barrier,
Hmm.
just to kind of create that space. Honestly, it really is up to me.
Hmm.
But if I don't express that this is important to me, then I open myself up to, well, we need to go do this or we need to do that or whatever. So life with roommate.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that, yeah. So basically roommate. That would be that would be the thing. Because my sweet little dog really doesn't bug me that much.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
So
So
just making sure you draw that boundary of when
mhm,
you're kind of do not disturb or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Which is hard for me to ask for something for myself.
Mm.
So, and to show up and be seen, that's part of my resistance.
Hmm.
I can show up and be seen with you because I feel like I'm contributing or being, helpful in some way. But to show up for myself is a struggle, and I'm working on that. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But that's prioritizing that. I guess that's why it was so foremost on my mind when you were asking about a goal. And
Hmm.
really, I think it's because it has become important to me
Yeah.
that it's like, gotta show up.
Yeah. Well, I'm honoring and recognizing your progress in that area and the willingness to show up. It's beautiful. You're showing up right now.
Indeed.
Indeed. And it's funny that you said that, because the other thing I was going to say is not judging whatever comes out on the page, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't all have to be the perfect post. Oh, there we go. We froze up again for a second. I was just saying it doesn't all have to be like the perfect blog post, or it doesn't all have to be
Right.
shared, but it's just an hour of writing for you, and however that
Mm-hmm.
turns out is however that turns out.
Yes, and I actually that really resonates. It's kind of funny. I don't do a lot of revision and going back and proofreading and stuff like that. I make just look and make sure I don't have something crazy wonky in there. But I usually just let it be what it is whenever I
Mm-hmm.
do release those things out there. That probably shows. But yeah, to be able to just say, even if it's just sitting on the porch, writing in my journal, that's okay too, as long as I honor
Yeah.
that time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's gorgeous. And you know, if you are in your office, when I've lived with roommates, I've had like a little, like a necklace on the door, sock on the
There
door,
you
you
go.
know, whatever the case may be, something that signals that I'm recording or whatever the case may be. Or
That's a good idea.
have
Yeah.
my alone time. That way it's clear, like the do not disturb is clear, and it's not a conversation I have to keep having. So
Great idea. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting too, is that this feels also all about connecting, like letting your intuition be front and center and like connecting to your intuition. And we're talking
Mhm.
about, you know, in science these days, they're saying we have three brains, right? We have our brain, we have our heart brain, and we have our gut brain,
Mhm.
our intestines, right? Our gut health. And a lot of what we're talking about right now is your creativity. We're talking
Mhm.
about, and that's all second chakra. That's all. Oh, hi, Chanel. I see Chanel joined. Um, and that's all second chakra. That's all sacral area. That's all very orange. That's all very creative. That's all your womb space coming through and your creative power coming through.
Mhm.
And and that's kind of just what we talked about with making sure our gut is in good health with prebiotics, probiotics, fruits, vegetables, water,
Yes.
you know, kind of making sure that brain is ready to do its thing. So
Mhm.
it's all, of course, interconnected, everything
Absolutely.
that we just spoke on.
Uh, yeah. And to let yourself actually realize that you need those things. And here I'm talking about you, but that I just think it's kind of a universal thing that we tend to um, not prioritize those things that are important, like, you know,
Hmm.
taking care of our gut with those greens and things like that. And it's like that is just as important as anything else, but it tends to go on the back burner because that's something that's like just for me.
Right,
So
right.
when it's
And
easier to grab something else. So
yeah, yeah. Or just doing the, you know, cleaning the whole apartment instead of, you know, the things that aren't priority necessarily, the procrastination. Another thing, you know, along with the phone alarms, maybe I used to put little sticky notes or note cards all over the walls and like little
mhm.
inspirations, whether they were quotes or just reminders to myself that this is, you know, this is a play date, this is fun, this is exciting, this is getting me towards my goals, whatever sort, you know, just different quotes or like whatever sort of snippets helped me.
I like
You
that.
seems like you would do well with something like that as well.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
you're correct there. Yes, I like that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
excellent.
does that feel good? What
It really does
that
feel
feel
good, and
doable?
yeah, definitely doable. And it's like it's funny because sometimes when you voice thing when I voice things,
Hmm.
I hear myself answer your own question. It's like it seems like as a counselor, I know most people already have their answers. They
Hmm.
just need to hear them in their own voice, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden they can apply it. And it's funny when that happens to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
So,
We're
oh yeah,
not
that applies
immune.
to me too. Yeah, exactly. All right
Yeah.
then. Yeah. So really, it helped to kind of facilitate that, and to simplify it, put it in simple terms. So I think a lot of times we do, as you were talking about um, we have so much information coming in from blogs or from Facebook or from wherever, or your friend is saying, "Hey, do this, do that," and we kind of drown in data, and it kind of gets us a little backed up. So
Hmm.
it kind of helps to flush that and move
Yeah,
on to know what's really going on inside. So yeah,
totally.
and
Yep.
nourish that.
Yep. I mean, you said it, overconsumption. So
Yeah,
whatever that is,
yeah,
we need to clear those intestines out
hmm,
and that,
yeah,
whether it's data or something else. But
right,
yeah, well, thank you for being
awesome,
willing to come on and express and articulate. And I know that this has helped and supported a lot of other people. So
thanks,
appreciating
Donna.
you and wishing you a
Awesome.
very simple, like simple health and simple direction in your big goal. And I can't wait to see what more you write.
Oh, I'm sure you'll see it.
I'm sure I will too. Um, so yeah, ladies, that was Jana. I just appreciate her so much coming on and sharing with you today. Simple ways. I know these are things we can relate to, whether you're a writer or not, or you have something that you want to accomplish. Just like, streamlining it, making it simple, eliminating distractions, prioritizing things. But we talked a lot. There are a lot of nuggets in there about ways to do that and simple ways to support yourself and show up for yourself and hold a big space for yourself to do the things that you would like to do and to be in that energy, in that creative energy. We talked about the creative space and supporting our gut health, and how our gut is not just the seat of our immune system. It's a third brain. It's the seat of our intuition as well, and our creativity. So definitely go back and watch from the beginning if you didn't catch it all. We are doing this 2 more days. We've got day 4 and day 5. We're going through the whole week. We've got Teresa and Joan coming on at the end of the week here, and we're going to see what they have to bring to us. And I'm sure you guys will be able to relate to that as well. If you want to share your goals and your baby steps in the comments below, I can come through and support you and respond to them and kind of help workshop that with you a little bit and simplify your health, simplify your life in 2020. And if you want to go further, if you want to go deeper, I have a pop-up session available called Simply 2020. It's just a pop-up session only available for the month of January to help you kind of simplify and get into this groove of implementing habits and sustainable change over time at the beginning of the year here. So it's a 25-minute session, $144. I think that's like 35 or 40% off of my regular rate. And they've been fun. It's been exciting to do them and to connect with you guys and just really zoom laser in on what you need. So if you're going only 25 minutes, we asked Natalie, ask some of the ladies that are in the group. We've gotten a ton done. And I don't think John and I spoke for more than 20 or maybe less. I don't know. But we really laser in on what you need and get what you need out of that session. I do a little channeling and I do a little coaching, and we bring kind of the science and the intuition of it together to support you and really get things going in the right direction. So appreciating you, Jana. Thanks again for coming on. Thanks, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions. You can feel free to DM me or place them in the comments below. And I will see you tomorrow for day 4 on Simply 2020. All right. Have a good one, guys. Much love.